Hello, welcome back, or rather, welcome to Let's Play Delta Force Xtreme. This is kind of a transitional title, or at least it would have been had Delta Force as a series not come to an untimely end shortly after the release of the sequel to this game. As you can see, it's the first game to support 16 by 9 displays natively without having to mess around with it or anything, so we can finally play in widescreen. But it's also divergent in a number of other ways. As you can see, there's no difficulty options for the game, and likewise there's no profile options like in previous Delta Force games. And that's part of why I think of this kind of as a transitional, or what was supposed to be a transitional game, because you see the game incorporating and even expanding on, in a small number of areas, the more modern gameplay introduced by Delta Force Black Hawk Down, but in other ways it's kind of an attempt to return to the roots of the series. And on top of that, it also was definitely transitioning to a more multiplayer focus, which is probably my biggest complaint for the game, which, I'm sure the multiplayer is fine and all, but you may have noticed there's no intro video, which granted we didn't really, we had a couple before, but that's gone now. We don't have a, there's no manual to read, because the manual is very bare bones, because this is about when they started making manuals worthless, practically, because all it is, oh, this is how you install the game, this is how you start the game, these are what the HUD elements mean, this is how you contact our support, here's our tip line that you can call for $10 a minute, there's no lore, there's no story, there's not even like a Ranger Creed, or I guess Delta Force Creed hidden in there. And you'll see it's kind of similar to the way the Black Hawk Down campaigns are organized. You choose one of 3 campaigns. The missions unlock progressively, and then when you unlock them, I think they will show up here in instant action. And you'll notice that these campaigns are very reminiscent of the Delta Force 1 campaign. It's essentially a remake of Delta Force 1. So we will just do them in order, like we did there. So we'll start with the Peru Campaign. Peru Campaign. Miguel Corrales, a powerful drug lord, has escalated the drug war by hiring a small army of soldiers to protect his operation. The United States has sent Delta Force to help apprehend the drug lord, dismantle his operation, and disperse his hired forces. We have our first mission, Insurrection. They do bring back the map, which I do appreciate. That kind of shows you the area where the operation is taking place. Mission: pacify the mercenary detachment at the base and destroy the on-site GPS jammer at Objective Breeze. Situation: Miguel Corrales, the most powerful drug lord in Peru, has hired a large mercenary army to fend off Peruvian drug enforcement officials and guard drug shipments bound for the United States. The U.S. has pledged to aid Peruvian officials by assigning Delta Force to help defeat Corrales and his army. First target is a major mercenary base. And you can see just by how the game loads, this is more of like a multiplayer thing where it's like you load in and it's like you choose your kit and then spawn. But here we get further information. Execution: eliminate all perimeter patrols near Objective Breeze, then proceed into the camp and neutralize all enemy forces there and destroy the GPS jamming unit. Expect a medium-sized group of mercenaries at this base. The mission will only be successful if all enemy personnel at the objective are neutralized. We can look here and see what we get. Ooh, I do. We'll probably go with M16, M203 for this. You'll notice most of the weapons are pretty similar to what we had in Black Hawk Down, with the exception that the Car-15 has been replaced by the M4, and I don't know if the M4 gets the option of an underbarrel grenade launcher. And you'll notice I also simplified it too. You do not get to choose a secondary. And this has been a trend throughout the whole series. It used to be you chose your primary, your secondary, you had an accessory, and maybe 2 equipment slots. And now we're down to primary and, I guess, auxiliary weapon. heavy weapon. I don't know what you'd exactly call this, but yeah. So I think we'll stick with the default loadout though, and we will enter the mission.
Come on, Bravo! Let's get on this dune buggy and move to X-ray.
Sounds like a plan. Oh, there we go. And you'll notice that, yes, you get to drive your vehicle. So this is kind of new for the series.
Get me on that motorcycle. I need a good shot.
You know, it's letting you're operating vehicles.
Bravo! Hold it steady!
Alright, we're through the artillery. And you'll notice there's experience points, but I don't think they actually do anything. And you'll notice we're getting them as, like, assists for kills.
Bravo! I've got my sights on that chopper! Bravo! Hold it steady! You need a good shot! Take out that chopper!
Whee! Yeah, so they're definitely trying to make it a bit more action-packed, because before we would just start where we're supposed to and we'd walk a little bit, and that would be that, whereas here we're dodging. Boop.
Charlie in position. We'll move on your signal.
Ah, got him! But it wasn't enough to take him down. You see, we do retain the iron sights. Ammo is handled via a weapon pool again. We do get snazzy new binoculars, actually. The AI, as you can see, is still kind of unintelligent. Let's just try to... Oh, by the way, trees are no longer cover. They, bullets just instantly destroy them. Here's our secondary. It is the Mark 23, which I believe is a 45 ACP. Yep, caliber 45. You can see there on the slide. And, oh boy, we got a lot of baddies here. And now, one shot isn't always enough to guarantee them. It used to be that, and this is a change I do like, given how... Given how... Oh, we got some bullet drop there.
You are clear to move in on the objective.
I suppose I might turn that off, because that almost seems a little cheaty.
This is Alpha Team. Tower is clear.
To actually know when your target's dead. But, it's definitely... Oh, shit. Fucking trying to ambush me there. I don't know if our teammates are invulnerable. It's been so long since I played this, because I did play this a little bit as a kid. So I don't know if they're invulnerable. Oh, someone's... But we'll help them where we can. Oh, there's people in there. Let's see if we can... Oh, right through the window. Perfect. That is what the M203 is for, ladies and gentlemen. And watch as I never nail another perfect from the hip shot again. Actually, can we... Yeah, you don't get... Honestly, I'm not that disappointed. Most games don't let you use the leaf sight for the grenade launcher. You get a ridiculous amount of ammo, though. You can see we've been using it a fair bit. And we still have 7 rounds left for that, so... There we go. So I think we've cleared... We'll go over here, and then we'll sweep down. I will say it would be nice if your squad mates were invulnerable to make up for their AI, because as you can see, they're you know, doing stuff like trying to shoot through hills again and stuff. Ooh, lots of cocaine in there. There we go. Got him. And honestly, I mean, for as much as I knock on Xtreme, it is an enjoyable game. It's just not as Delta Force-y as previous games were. I think there is more substantial fall damage than previous ones, if I remember correctly, so we're not going to try to slide down the hill. I kind of wish there was an option to edit your interface, because that map is overlapping my waypoint, and I don't like that. But do we still have... Okay, so view controls aren't the same. Let's see if there even is a third person. MG power up. Power up? What the fuck? Maybe that's just for multiplayer. Still, though, that's kind of... Oh, yeah, we get some nice night vision goggles. Oh, you can increase the NVG gain. That's cool. At third person... Yeah, for... it must be for multiplayer only, maybe? Yeah, because I could get rid of my gun, but I can't move the third person. Unfortunate, but... You know, not the end of the world. I did kind of want to see what we look like, but I think we'll get that opportunity when the mission is over and you get that brief HUD-less full-screen picture before it backs out to the debrief screen. So, it's time to go in. We probably killed everyone. Tab does not give us objectives anymore, which is a shame. We do have a map which does not focus on, wow, that does not focus on you at all. So I'm going to have to see what the controls are for the map. And no command screen either. And unfortunately, even as modern as this game is, 2005, no drones, which was probably my favorite part of, they weren't always useful, but boy, were they useful sometimes in, oh, whatchamacallit, Task Force Dagger, that's it. So it looks like we've, done a bang-up job of securing this area. And to demonstrate what I mean by trees are no longer cover... Most of these, especially these palm trees, like, there might be some thicker trees that will hold up, but yeah, a single bullet is enough to kill most, Ooh, that's kind of some neat detail. They have different weapons. It used to be your team will always use the same weapons, but they even have different colored armor vests, which is interesting. But yeah, that guy's got the machine gun, he's got an M4. He's got a bandana, whereas he's actually got a combat outfit. They even have different colored boots. So graphically, I think this game is definitely a huge improvement. Let's see. Oh yeah, Charlie Team's got kind of the same setup. A few points deducted for having the exact same models with the exact same armaments. But, but still, I appreciate the effort, you know, and it shows that you know, I mean, obviously they're scripted to use the weapons, but, you know, it makes you feel like you're not the only guy who can choose their weapon. In any case, let's destroy that GPS jammer, which is not connected to an antenna, so I don't know how much use they were getting out of that. That...
King 6 to all elements. Objective secured.
There we go. And you can see, wow, you know, I suppose... Okay, friendly's lost, so it looks like the AI is not invulnerable, though I imagine they do have higher health than previously. So we did all the objectives, no friendlies lost, only half of enemy targets destroyed, but we weren't quite able to nail that helicopter. That's fine. Much like every other Delta Force game, what you do doesn't really impact the other missions. If you miss an objective or you miss killing an enemy, doesn't matter. And obviously we missed a lot of the guys on our way in, but, you know, I'm not going to drive through that gauntlet at 5 miles an hour so the AI can hopefully kill them all. But In any case, congratulations. Mission Insurrection completed successfully, yada yada. And there you can see the experience seems to just be a high score indicator. It's not like indicative of any sort of leveling or RPG like system or progression system. Maybe for multiplayer, there might be. I don't know. I've never played multiplayer, but documents found within the destroyed base point to the location of one of Corrales' supply caches. They also suggest the location of an airfield being used by the mercenaries as a transshipment point for weapons and other supplies. And you can see we have the famous Nova Logic options to quit, restart, or, well, not really continue, but quit or restart. And you can see now Flood is unlocked and Insurrection is unlocked as instant action. I don't really know the point of, I mean, because obviously Insurrection is still here, so I don't know what point of that, of having this extra tab. But, which, speaking of extra tabs, before I sign off here, okay, they have Nova World, which is still active. But there's a tab in options labeled expansions, which makes me think they were originally going to make expansion packs for this game like they did for Black Hawk Down with Team Saber. And I guess they never got around to it or something, or maybe the game was received too poorly, so they went straight to Extreme 2, which from the very small bit I played of that isn't really that much different from this game. But I find that to be an interesting detail. And also, I forget if I mentioned it, but the campaign can be played in co-op. There is that option. I don't think I'll be taking it because it's hard enough just to get someone to co-op with me for Fighters Anthology for those missions. So, so with that, we completed our first mission, and hopefully we'll be able to bring Corrales to justice. Thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for next time, and stay safe out there, and we'll see you then.